Hello everyone, and welcome to The Man Behind the Curtain. I'm Randy Young, the guy in the red shoes, and I've been in the video production business my entire career, and it's taken me around the world a few times. But more importantly, I've had the opportunity to work with some of the most creative people in television, and boy do they have stories to tell about the business and the people who make it happen. We've always been told, ignore the man behind the curtain, but you can talk to me. Okay, let's get started. I'm sitting here with two of my very best friends in Las Vegas, camera operators, married, Joan Ackley and Skip Epley. Hi, Joan. Hi, Skip.
Hi, Randy.
How are you tonight?
Fantastic.
Well, good. I'm glad to have you here. Welcome to the party. Okay.
Glad to be here, yeah.
Let's start the way I kind of start all of these. Tell me a little history about yourselves and why you do this crazy living. Joan?
Okay, well, as far as the history, you mean as far as how I got into this crazy business? It actually happened, I was 14 years old, and I was bored, and my mother suggested that I walk to the nearby mall because the ABC affiliate, the Channel 13 here in town, they had a desk set up with all their anchor people and the weather person and the sportscaster, and they were there to do like a meet and greet to meet the public. And I thought, okay, that sounds like fun. So I walked to the mall, and there they were. They actually brought the news desk in, and it was a really big deal. I mean, they were crowded. The crowds were there, and people were so excited to meet all these on-air personalities. But I couldn't care less about that. I looked at this guy with a TV camera on his shoulder. He worked for the station, and he was there to cover the event. And 14 years old, I didn't quite understand it, but it just, something clicked. And I thought, that speaks to me. I think I want to do this, Okay. And so I actually made up my mind then and there. I ended up going to a high school in Las Vegas that had a television program. And the great thing about that was the PBS affiliate used to be located at the high school, but then they moved the year before I started high school, and they literally left behind an entire television station. So it was really great training, and was able to get a job right out of high school.
Wow.
And and it's one of the best decisions I've ever made. I truly, truly love working in this business and feel very fortunate.
Well, a lot of people have very similar stories about the passion that hit them early on. Skip, did that happen for you?
No.
Okay.
No, it was,
you gotta be contrary all the time.
I try to be. I try. I'd always mess with still cameras. Mm-hmm. And at that time, my girlfriend at that time, whose name was also Joni, was a singer in a band. And the keyboardist was the local production manager for the local TV station. He had me come down to see the Sunday night news. Afterwards, he took me into the studio and walked up to the camera and said, "This is your Zoom, this is your focus, be here at 8 o'clock tomorrow morning."
Welcome to the party.
Welcome to the party, and I was scared shitless that first week. I remember having a death grip on those panhandles, sweat dripping down the middle of my back, but I love it.
So you're at the TV station, you're doing the news, sweat dripping down your neck.
Yeah.
And every time that little tally light comes on?
Sometimes, and the voices in my head, besides the ones that are normally there, are telling me the things to do. And, you're trying to, pan right, and you think you want to pan right, but you're panning left. And
yeah.
So it was
the other right.
It was definitely, definitely the other right. It was a huge learning experience that I would say that first week.
So where did the passion come from to do it?
Just doing it, and being on a local station, you're doing everything. And it really broadened my horizon, as it were, and let me know what was going on, and I loved it.
Well, Joan, the passion, the thrill of it, that hit you right away, you said.
Yeah, I mean, it hit me when I saw the guy with the TV camera on his shoulder, and never really let up. I mean, I still just adore the business. I went down many different avenues throughout the many decades that I've worked in TV now, and little sampling of this and that, and it always came back to camera. I mean, I did some stage managing, I did location scouting and things like that, but it definitely always came back to camera for me. And life after the television station was such a contrast. I mean, and I get to work with you, and you know that we do lots of music and entertainment and things like that. So it's a little different than just shooting the nightly news. And
well, and news these days, it's all automated anyway. They haven't got camera operators.
So
it's a totally different animal now.
Completely different. And I don't think people coming up today can start that way anymore.
I don't know. Yeah, it's hard to say, because people ask me how to get into the business. What do I do? What do I need to see or whatever? And I always, if you can, get an internship somewhere or go to work for a local TV station. That way you'll get a chance to do a little of this, a little of that, and maybe camera's not really what you want to do, and you'll find out.
In a hurry.
In a big hurry.
All right, so there's a little history. Now, bring me up to date. Why do you keep doing it? What's the drive now?
Since leaving the TV stations, I started freelancing. And what I love about freelancing in television is just the freedom. If I want a certain time off, I just don't accept work those days. And plus you get so much variety being a freelancer. I do corporate shows, some sports, mainly boxing, entertainment shows, award shows, and things like that. So that keeps it interesting too. But I think even above all that, it's the people that I get to work with. I mean, just some incredibly talented, wonderful, fun people that I definitely refer to as friends.
Quirky.
Not just, I love quirky. So,
quirk.
I
so
think
that's what keeps the passion going.
I think all of us are just a little off center.
Oh,
I
absolutely.
think
Most of the time.
You gotta be.
A little bit.
to put up with some of the stuff.
Just the crazy nature of it. I mean, it's a roller coaster ride, this business, especially when you freelance. You don't have that set schedule, that structure, and.
Well, Skip, do you still get the little sweat beads down the back of your neck? Or are those gone away?
No, in a different sense. But there's no sweat. But yeah, if it's something new, I mean, I've done 4 or 5 Olympics, a lot of music, a lot of entertainment shows, a lot of TV shows, and the corporate world. But it's, especially in the music and the entertainment, the fun is still there.
Yeah.
And that's what I look forward to.
All right. As camera operators, which is what you guys, you don't do anything but cameras, right? Is that true, or
when I was
still doing other things?
In the TV station, I got out of camera and went into the directors and directed shows and commercials. And then I got tired of that because it was a TV station. So I went into engineering thinking, oh, this will be more fun.
Oh, really?
Oh, yeah. And
how was it?
They promised me this and that, and I ended up switching commercials. I did that for like 2 years and went, no, I'm done with this.
I'm done with that.
And then that's when I went freelance.
All right, so as experienced, sought after, very good camera operator, so what are the best tools you have in your bag to do your job?
Past experience, ability to know what needs to be done in the future, the next 2 or 3 shots, knowing music.
Okay,
Yeah.
sure.
Knowing music helps a lot.
What do you think, Joan?
I would experience for sure is the biggest tool. Where, being a camera operator, you're not an engineer, so we don't need all the gear and tools that engineers need to build a show.
It still fascinates me, though. The engineering part of it.
Yeah.
Oh, does it really?
Yeah.
To me, it's a big mystery. I will admit it. I am not a real technical person at all, and luckily with being a camera operator, you don't have to be. It's a little bit more of a creative position than an engineering, mathematical, type of.
So when you're working with guys like me, other directors and me, or people that you've worked with for years, are you thinking ahead for them? Is that part of your job?
Oh, you have to.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah, without a doubt. Yeah, you do have to. And I guess, I mean, not as much as a director, because I know directors, you really have to see ahead, because you're the one who is literally calling the shots. I mean, but yeah, we do. We have to be on guard for what might happen next, whether it's somebody entering from a certain spot on stage or a panel, coming up all of a sudden, and yeah, so without a doubt.
But it also depends on the director. Like, you give the operators more of a freedom if we're seasoned and we know what we're doing. Otherwise, you're basically having to tell every single shot. And we've all heard stories.
That's miserable.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
Yeah.
And there are other directors out there, even though we're all totally seasoned and everything, no, you have to do this.
Yeah,
and
so that...
How does that make you feel?
It's frustrating. And it can be...
Well,
what's a nice term?
stifling, I think.
Yes.
Yeah, it can be. I mean, what the point he's making is there are certain directors where, I know that we're kind of like your eyes in a sense, or any
Absolutely.
director's eyes, because you're backstage.
Right.
So you don't. We see what's happening in the room, but you don't. You rely on us. But when you have a director where you can't move or search for anything or sell a shot, at all, you only move when they want you to move, then it's very stifling, and you're kind of on eggshells a little bit, because you see something and you want to get it, but it's like, nope, I can't, my hands are tied and I can't do it. So it does kind of take the fun and spontaneity out, and I mean, but every director has their own style, and we can't.
It is what it is.
Dispute that, yeah. But as far as us having fun, we like it when we have a little more leeway and
especially
a longer
in
leash.
music.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, especially with music. Yeah.
Because like you said, because I can't see it, and you do see it, and maybe I'm looking over here at camera 6 and you're camera 3.
Yeah.
And I'm not focused on you because I don't need to be to you yet in my little movie that's playing in my head.
Right.
And I told you guys, and I tell every camera operator, if you see something, get my attention.
Yeah.
Shake your camera, zoom it in and out.
Yeah.
Hey, I got this.
Yeah.
Watch this. And if I can't use it then, I will say, I'll get to you. Hang on, I'll get to you.
Yeah.
And I'll go, boom, 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 and back over there. But like I said, you were the eyes that I can only see what the lens shows me.
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
So tell me about, do you think that anything that you can do can salvage a show that's not going well? Can you really improve it with your work?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Because if we don't know what we're doing, it'll just compound it and make it even worse. Yeah. So if we can help with shots, and we know maybe something's happened backstage, or something in the equipment wise is not working, and your attention is off on something else,
right?
We can follow the action going on our own, without saying do this, do that, just to help save the show.
Now we all wear headsets, hours and hours and hours.
Oh God, yes.
And there's conversations, chit chat, and things that go on.
That's the best part.
Yeah.
Tell me the best part.
Oh, the stories?
Yeah.
Oh, God, yeah.
Yeah. Oh, well, I'm sorry.
Tell me some of the most that would make you laugh and shake the camera if you had to.
Okay. I did a show with you.
Oh my God!
And,
don't drag me into this.
And I won't reveal the camera operator's name. And he's fantastic camera operator. No, it's not you.
Oh.
I mean, but you are fantastic.
Yes, that's true.
But a speaker came out. It was an executive. I don't remember what the show was. And she was being lighthearted, and she referred to her shoes. She had very fancy shoes. And you were yelling, camera 3, get her shoes. She's talking about her shoes. Camera 3, shoot her shoes. And you repeated it seemed like a dozen times. And then finally you said, camera 3, do you hear me? And then there was a pause, and all of a sudden the camera 3 operator said, yeah, I hear you, but I forgot I was camera 3. so there was and I'll reveal later on who that was, but a great operator, but it was,
I love it.
And Yeah, and you know, I mean, if you're on social media and on Facebook, I don't know if you're aware of this. There's a group called Things Heard on Comm.
I'm a member of that
I've
group,
submitted many, yeah.
Well, there's the story that's gone around, I don't know for how many years now.
Oh, I feel a cuss word coming on.
Oh, no.
Oh.
But a fairly green operator, or maybe somebody who normally operates Spotlight, yeah, I can do camera.
Sure.
The director said, give me a head to toe. And so that's what they did. They zoomed into the head and they tilted down to their toes.
Yeah,
That's a new one.
Oh, you haven't heard that one?
No, I haven't heard that one.
That's been around for a while. And that just brings a smile to my face.
yeah.
You've never made a mistake like that, though.
Oh, well. Back to the
local. I want to hear your biggest guffaw.
Oh, well, this is kind of there. Back to the local TV station. We had, when I started, they had the old TK-42s.
Oh, sure.
They're this wide.
Mm-hmm.
They still had the turns on the back for turning the lens turret and stuff, even though it was a real lens. They decided to finally get rid of those things, and I forget which cameras, Hitachi's, but the zoom was backwards, and you couldn't change it.
Well,
So this was not zooming in.
Right.
This was zooming out. And I was on a shot of something. This was a local talk show kind of thing. And I was on like a 2-shot, I think, or a 3-shot. And the host, a guest, a woman, and another guest, and they said, all right, give me, or I was on a single, maybe that's what it was, single, and they said, widen out and give me a 3-shot.
Right.
And I went to widen, I zoomed in, I went right into her breast. Live at noon.
I think the ratings went up.
I'm sure they did.
Yeah, that was kind of a guffaw. That's a funny thing now, but at the time it was not.
At the time, yeah.
Wow.
How about you, Joan?
I haven't. I'll let you know when I make a mistake, if that happens.
Okay, it probably will. It probably
No,
will.
and then poor Skip. Am I in focus? Am I in focus? I don't think I'm in focus. You know, and you second guess yourself and everything, and there's still humbling moments to be had for sure.
I've said for years, focus is not an option.
Yeah. It could be. I'll tell you what, though, that could be the most challenging thing. A lot of times,
Well, especially now.
the stages, they're lit for the audience, the actual live audience. So a lot of red lights, a lot of low lights, a lot of fog. The fog machines that go crazy, and you're zoomed all the way in because you're so far away, and it's the challenges are there, and it's not always flawless, and that's
Well, especially in some of the production numbers before, they used to run us at
minus
23.95
Right.
instead of 24 frames, which
Yeah,
gives a jitter to it anyway as you're looking at it in the frames. Then the light is down really low. They might be operating at a minus 3 dB instead. They'll also throw in, I don't know if they still have that or not, the skin detail.
Yeah.
They'll crank that down so everybody looks nicer.
Looks nice
but
and pretty,
everybody looks,
More forgiving.
it looks mushy.
Yeah.
And try to focus on that. I just thought of a funny story that I remember during the days of the Jerry Lewis Telethon. She used to work the middle shift.
or the graveyard.
The graveyard shift.
Yeah.
With the director, Greg.
Oh, Greg Elfand, I think his name. Great director. Yeah.
And,
the game we would play.
Yes.
Oh, the little. It's funny that you would think of that right now, but it is a funny little story. It would be like 3:00 in the morning, and the audience was, an audience of usually a few hundred, if not a couple of thousand people. Dwindle
At 3
down.
in the morning?
No.
It would dwindle down
peak hours,
to.
It would dwindle down to maybe 20 people, if even that.
Right.
And who
But
knows what wandered in.
It was. The game was try to find the serial killer in the audience. So and usually it's like, yeah, this guy.
Yeah.
There was always one person where it's like, yeah.
Oh, and why is that person here?
Oh.
But it's things like that actually you think back over the years. We've had some great times.
Absolutely.
You know, and some memorable times. I mean, the music acts that we've done. Paul McCartney.
Oh, that was a big moment for him.
That was a big moment. Yeah.
Yeah.
Dean Martin, Frank Sinatra.
Yeah. Well, those are legends, and to have the opportunity to work with,
Oh my God,
with
yeah.
those people and
Yeah.
that kind of talent, and
In fact, I was there
at least be a part of it.
at the telethon when they got Jerry Lewis and Dean Martin back together.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Yes, I remember that.
When all of a sudden Dean walked out and Jerry was stuck on stage, so he had to stay there. But it turned out to be a really good moment.
Wow.
That's
Yeah.
nice.
Wow. Well, how do you describe what you do to strangers on the street, people you just met, and they say, "Oh, nice to meet you, Skip, Joan. What do you guys do for a living?"
I mean, I usually just keep it simple and say I'm a freelance television camera operator. It's so different that it's hard to answer the question, what do we do? Because it's like, well, which day are you,
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is the same thing for you, Skip?
I just basically, I tell them I freelance and I work for whoever wants to pay me.
Okay.
And it's a lot of sports and entertainment and corporate shows.
Has it gotten different in Vegas now that they've got professional teams and basketball and football and they're getting baseball?
It has in that sense that they are here, but I'm not doing that much sports anymore. My choice.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I used to do it all. The only sports basically I do now is some boxing every now and then because I like boxing.
Okay.
So I'll still do that. Working the major sports can be fun, but it isn't.
Not anymore?
No.
Yeah. It's turned into a different animal.
Yeah. It's a lot more intense.
Have you ever sat back and thought, was it a good idea to do this, or could I have done something else, or was this the best thing I could have done?
For
This
me,
was the best thing.
yes.
Oh, absolutely.
100%, absolutely.
No regrets.
Wouldn't
No.
change a thing.
No, only
Would
because
not-
of all the different experiences we get to experience.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's not like somebody going to a 9-to-5 job and sitting at a desk all day long. How
Which for
interesting
some
can that
people
get?
that's for
it
some
can be
people
rewarding. It depends
yeah,
on the
yeah,
job.
of
but,
course, of course.
I mean, you
But
guys have
it's-
made a career out of this.
Because but the flip side of that is there's a lot of people who would never want to do what we're doing. The uncertainty of knowing when your next job is going to be, what your schedule's going
When
to
you're
be
gonna
like,
get paid.
and yeah,
Yeah.
and things like it's like, oh no, I need a lot more structure and a lot more routine, and we don't have that. We're kind of gypsies in a sense.
that's
So,
true.
but it works for certain personalities, and obviously we all three have that personality, you know.
So what haven't we talked about that you'd like to hear, that I would like to hear?
You know, Vegas, of course, has a very colorful past.
Yes.
And there was
Oh.
a time when the mob used to run
I
things.
knew you were going to go there.
But I just think it's so cool, I guess. I don't know if that's the right word, but you know, the movie Casino
Sure.
is actually very, very accurate.
Very accurate.
And, well, I'll let you tell me.
And if you're watching the movie, you'll see that they told Lefty to tone it down, you know, don't
Lefty
make
was the Robert De Niro's character.
Right.
Yeah.
and don't bring attention to yourself. So of course he has a TV show.
Right. Right.
Yeah.
I was one of the
Right.
camera operators on that show.
Yeah.
In the film?
No, in real life.
Oh, the real life.
In real life.
With the
Yeah.
real
It was
guy.
it was at the old Stardust.
Oh, wow.
And you were never allowed to talk to him. You were never allowed to say Lefty at all. And they would always, there was people that you could not shoot. And it was
the
it was
audience?
interesting, yeah, in the audience.
Yes, really.
And
Wow.
then there was another show we used to do. The old Paul Anka is called Paul Anka's Jubilation Show. It was a
Okay.
nightclub, and about once a month, I think we did a show out of there, and it was some mob guy. I can't remember who it was, but it was something he wanted to do. So we would bring the truck in, set it up, and put all the cameras in there, and then there would be a knock on the door, and the guy would come in, and he'd go over to the director or the TD and said, "Okay, have him pan around." And I'd have to pan my camera around. And he goes, "Don't shoot that table." Keep going around. "Don't shoot that table." Definitely don't shoot that table.
All right.
And it was that was an eye opener. But we all knew about the mob.
Sure.
You know.
Sure. Well, in what other business could we have those kinds of experiences?
Yeah.
Oh, I don't know. That would
So
be
true. So true.
I mean, we've all got stories. We all have tales. We all have these incredible experiences and happenings
Yeah.
that few people get to, in their daily work lives, have those sorts of opportunities and
That's very
experiences.
true.
And I think that's one of the beauties of this crazy life that we live.
Oh yeah.
Without a
for
doubt.
the experiences we get to experience.
Yeah,
It is.
fun.
It
It's
doesn't happen to
wonderful.
everybody, and we're very lucky. And you two are very special people. So I want to say thank you for being with me today. It's been
Well,
great.
thank you.
Oh,
right.
This
thank
is fun.
you.
Cheers.
Cheers,
Yeah.
Randy.
Cheers.
Here's to the biz
Yeah, you bet.
and to friendship.